Hello, everybody. This is GFan84, also known as TJ. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. So, I'm just doing a live stream real quick, doing some current events, but nothing related to politics or what's going on in the world today. Mostly just about what's been going on with me and, my neck of the woods. So, to start things off, let's see here. So work has picked up for me. As some of you know, I am a truck driver, so I've been driving a truck locally in my hometown here, and we've been getting actually pretty busy. So that's why I really haven't been on Twitter that much. Really haven't been on YouTube that much because we work pretty long hours. Um, but some good news happened with work is we all got a raise. All the truck drivers got a raise. So we're all real happy about that. Um, so we're going to be making um, a decent amount more every pay, which is great. Really helps out, especially with everything that's going on right now. Um, so a bit more current events too. Health wise, been back and forth on that. Some things aren't going as well. Some things are, but you know, hey, get through it any way we can. So another thing too is you know, as far as movies go, I tell you one thing. Maybe I'm just the only one here, but I'm getting very bored not having any new movies to go see at the theater. My wife and I love to go to the movie theaters all the time and love going to see new movies. And this has just been a pain not being able to go see any movies whatsoever. It really has. Um, but just I mean, yeah, they're in my at my theaters they're showing like old movies and stuff like that. Uh, you know, whatever they can to try to bring in some people, but nothing beats going to see a new movie in a big theater. Nothing beats it. Popcorn, the whole works. But so that's one thing that I feel that really sucks with the whole coronavirus, COVID, whatever you want to call it, whatever name they gave it this time. Um, it's really disrupts a lot of people's lives. A lot of businesses have suffered. Many people that you know have personal owned businesses, they've really taken a hit. Really upsetting too. But anyway, one of the big things is that um, we just all keep trugging along. Hopefully, hopefully it'll get better, but it's kind of like the idea of weathering the storm. I mean, the storm seems to take forever, but well, people are people are resilient. They'll get through it. Um, so it'll be fine there. You see, I got two watchers here. I'm not sure who it is though. By the way, I am on my phone doing this stream, so if there's any bad quality, please let me know. Any echoes? Oh, hey, Big Mongo's Big Thanks. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right. I am just doing a little bit of current events, not really political or anything. I'm just doing my current events about what's going on, you know, in my life at the moment. Um, I I don't know if you caught it, but yeah, I got a raise and at work, so gonna be making a bit more money. Other than that, just reminiscing about the movie theaters and how my wife and I miss going to see movies and stuff like that. Now I have nobody viewing. This thing. Yeah, it does sound good. So Yeah. Another thing I've been trying to do, Mongo, and actually I wanted to talk to you about this. I've been trying to get. Uh, yeah, it's always good news. I've been trying to get. I wanted to talk to you about this. I've been trying to get other Godzilla fans to do a live stream. Kind of like how they, how like with the Phantom Menace and our friends there get together and do their live streams. I'm trying to get together a bunch of Godzilla fans, but I'm having a bit of difficulty, um, because a lot of the Godzilla fans are not on Twitter, and it's kind of hard reaching them on their YouTube channels because they get bombarded with all kinds of crazy comments and stuff like that. So, I want to know your opinion, Mongo, about what what do you think the best idea was for? I have a list of a couple people that I was interested in asking. Obviously, you, but I don't know. Did you ever hear of the YouTuber D Man 1954? He's a younger guy. He does a lot of Godzilla videos. He does some music covers and all that. Been wanting to ask him. Actually asked Alyssa the Goji Geek um, a couple weeks ago, but I don't know if you know who she is, but she does a lot of videos too, and she has a very good insight into Godzilla fandom as well. But the thing is that like she's actually in the military right now, so her internet's kind of spotty. She said, and she said she would love to, but right now she can't. Hey, Happy, how are you? Happy day to you, Happy. Oh yeah, he did a great video on Godzilla Day. I actually met him at GFest, very briefly, but I met him, and I kind of felt bad because the last GFest we had, we didn't have one this past year because of COVID and all that. But the year before, he actually made a comment thing, and he said he thought he was on a panel at GFest, and he actually stated that he felt that King Kong would win, and he got like all these boos and all kinds of stuff. And and poor guy was just speaking his mind. Get on dynamite. Well, don't blow up too much. Yep, chomp chomp, Happy. Oh, all right, thanks, Happy. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. It was very brief. It was outside the convention, and I went up to him. I'm like, "Oh, you're D-Man 1954?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, real nice guy too," and he's real down to earth. But he's like, "Hey, did you hear everyone booed me, at the panel?" And I'm like, "No, I was at the panel beside you, but I was wondering what everyone was booing about." And he goes, "Yeah, that was me. I said King Kong would win." Poor guy, the poor guy. But no, no, G Fest is a lot of fun. I really like going. Hopefully, they have one this coming year. Because it's not the same when it's online, and that's with all conventions. When they did the streams for the Comic Con online and all that, and like all the movie studios doing the stuff online. That's pretty cool, but it's not the same as actually being there and actually getting to interact with other people. Nothing really beats that. But yeah, I think the panel I was at, that was right beside his. It was a musical panel. They were talking about Akira Ifukube, and they actually brought a woman who was actually a student of Akira Ifukube, and she was playing on the piano a lot of his classic music. Really cool. Oh, cool. Glad you're back, Happy. So, hey, so what's new? Anything new, Happy? Anything new in the dinosaur world? Are you guys still extinct? Hey, Fade Salvation, how are you? What's new? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we were just talking about GFest. I don't know if you've ever been to GFest. I know I can see Kiru is your icon there. So I wasn't sure if you were at GFest, but we were talking about GFest 2 years ago. They didn't have one this past year, so how I met D-Man 1954, and also like I've been trying to get like a panel set up for Godzilla fans, but I'm having kind of difficulty trying to get a hold of these guys. A lot of these people aren't on Twitter or any of that stuff. They're only on YouTube or um, something, and it's just hard to get hold of a lot of them. Yeah, chop chomp, happy. Is that a response to what I said, uh, or are dinosaurs still extinct there? You didn't get to answer me though on that one. Oh, you haven't gone to G-Fest. It's a lot of fun. If you love Godzilla movies, it's a lot of fun. Um, they have all the different panels. It is one the only official Godzilla convention that Toho has endorsed in North America. And what's interesting about G-Fest is it is fan run, fan owned, meaning there is no corporate sponsors. They don't have to adhere to too many rules other than Toho's rules. So it truly is like one of the a great fan experience. It's not corporately owned, and I've been trying to get others to try to do um, see about doing their own convention. I'm friends with many members of the Star Wars community, particularly the Fandom Menace. And I've been seeing if they can actually see about doing their own convention. I mean, it's not impossible. Other fans can do it. They've done it with the Godzilla convention, but I think the problem is just trying to coordinate it, and you need a lot of you need a good bit of money to start it out. It's not like how it used to be, especially with Disney running things. Our dinosaur medical party Koopa wants to waste dinosaur taxpayer money on hunting the Mario Brothers, and the other mushrooms want to legalize shrooms. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Geez, I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, please tell me you don't endorse the Super Mario Brothers movie. Please tell me you don't endorse that one. That's not that is the worst video game movie to come out. Well, maybe not the absolute worst, but uh uh that you're giving me bad memories of that. Yeah, yeah. I find it funny about old school critics, post 1960 critics. This Godzilla Sherlock will never take off. I'm a legitimate movie critic. Yeah, I mean, you have a point there. I mean, yeah, Godzilla movies were, always considered B movies, especially by American standards. But truth be told, a lot of these Godzilla movies were some of the more expensive movies made at the time. So I find it hilarious that you know, you know, here in the United States, they treat it more like a B movie and something that's really low budget. But in fact, many of these Godzilla movies actually had a very large budget, for the special effects. But no, like another thing, going on. Oh, tomorrow's Veterans Day. I hope everyone wishes somebody they know, family member, friend who's a vet. Please wish them Happy Veterans Day. If I have time tomorrow, I'm going to try to. Well, I would like to. I want to try to maybe talk to Mara Jade. I know she's an Air Force veteran. Maybe I can talk to her about that. Being a reminiscent about the military kind of thing. I don't know. We'll have to see. Um, but that would be pretty cool. Nope, I just love pairing as part of my backstory, just so. Yeah, that's very true. Oh yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me get you the link here for that. 1 second. All right, Mongo. Sent you the link there. On Twitter there on your messages. 10 seconds of silence for a Japanese soldier. You keep dying to Godzilla. Happy. That's a good one. Oh yeah, sure. Let me send you the link here. 1 second. All right, I sent you the link there, Fade. It's been 10. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's been 10 seconds. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Mongo. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Hey, I
Uh,
wanted to tell you, I really admired the rap about candy corn there. That was awesome. That was
Thank
great.
you.
That was really cool. Seeing you on that stream, man.
Oh yeah, like that was really such a nice thing for drunk 3PO to do. And obviously it's not like I did anything crazy. I just screwed around in a costume and made a funny video. And
Yeah, but
yeah,
still,
it was
that's pretty cool.
an experience. Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know, like when you're first starting out on YouTube, um, you look up to the guy, all these people that have like all these followers and all that, and then you know, it's nice that they like acknowledge like up and coming YouTubers and had them on the stream. That's great. I think that's awesome.
Oh, totally. Hmm.
But so yeah, what I was saying about was I was trying to get together like a bunch of Godzilla YouTubers together, but they're few and far between. And like I was saying, yeah, a lot of them they're not on Twitter, or if they are on Twitter, it's very rare and it's like once in a while. So it's kind of hard to get a hold of them.
Yeah. Mm.
Dino Pukes breath. Yeah, well, pretty much in Shin Godzilla, that's pretty much what he does. But yeah, I was talking to I did get in contact with Alyssa Goji Geek. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't think I've heard of that
She's
one.
a smaller YouTuber. She's in the military right now. She's in the Navy, and where she is, she gets very, very bad, Wi-Fi reception because of, well,
Mm,
I think it's because of all the electronics on the base and stuff like that she's at, and like Wi-Fi signal just sucks. But
yeah.
yeah, I contacted
Oh,
her
I
and
see your
she
channel
appreciated it,
now.
huh?
I see your channel now. I'll have to check out some of her stuff.
Yeah, she made a good many videos about how her really liking Godzilla and being a Godzilla fan, but she also brings up a very, very, let's just say, very serious topic in two of her videos, and it, trust me, it you watch it and it's heartbreaking, but it's something that really needs to be said, and something that
Mm,
one of the things I'm dedicated very much against. So if you get a chance, go ahead and watch her videos. She's very good. A couple other people, D-Man 1954 was one of them. I'm gonna try to get a hold of him to see if about scheduling something. A couple other, yeah, like I said, the problem is like it's hard to get a hold of them because a lot of them aren't on Twitter for a lot of reasons. Um,
mm,
and so trying to get a hold of them through YouTube and stuff like that, it's a bit harder, because they get like all these comments, and when you scroll down after a while, you just stop even looking at them. you know,
mhm. Yeah.
so but yeah, sent Fade a link. I don't know if he's coming. He said he wanted to come on, so wait a bit for him. But hey, have you seen any good movies lately?
Oh, well, of course we had Godzilla Day, November 3rd. So
Yeah,
I had such a fun Godzilla Day, and I didn't even do that much really. I
yeah,
mean, obviously there's the election and stuff, but I didn't
yeah,
even care about that. I was like, I can think about the election some other day. Today I'm going to sit down, I'm gonna watch Godzilla 1954. I'm gonna play around with some Godzilla toys, maybe take a picture or two. And it was just lovely. Such a great
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
So relaxing
yeah.
too.
It is. Yeah, it's nice to go and be able to like relax, not worry about what the craziness going on in the world, and just focus on what we love. Um, he says his computer is just moving slow. That's fine. No problem.
Mm,
No biggie.
no
Like I
worries.
said, we'll be
Mhm,
here for a little bit, or at least I will. Um, I probably do about a hour stream or so. Um,
mm,
so um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, see, like yeah, it's just I like I said, this is not a political stream. I'm not really doing anything about that. Um, just coming on and tell you what all is going on, with me and with what's going on, you know, just in the area I live, my neck of the woods. So, for us, it's been being a truck driver, it's been actually pretty busy. So,
mhm.
delivering to grocery stores, delivering to meat markets, to schools. We do stuff for USDA, which provides food for all the schools. So it's just been
Ooh,
really
that's really
busy.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been really busy. Um, so yeah, for us, as far as work goes, no shortage there. If anything, we're short drivers. Oh, that's another
Mm.
thing I did want to kind of bring up. How much do you know about truck driving?
Oh, next to nothing pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
well,
have a class.
I've never been a truck driver, so I only know, hey, you drive a truck and
Yeah,
well,
most people don't.
I only know
Most
bits and
people, yeah,
pieces.
most people have no clue what it is about what it is to do truck driving. Um, that was the other passion that I was going to passion project that I'm trying to do, but again, it's really hard. Is try to talk to other truck drivers and try to get them on a stream, and just you know BS about all the stuff that we encounter on the road. Um, but no, I'm a Class A CDL driver, meaning I can drive a tractor trailer. I can drive anything over. you know 21,000 pounds. So meaning when it comes to load wise.
Mm.
So one thing that people don't understand about, like, when you're in driving a big truck like that, I'm going to tell you, you don't move that fast and you're not very agile. So my argument is, and I've always said this, if you're in a car, if you're in a truck, like a regular pickup truck or something like that, if you can pass us, by all means, just pass us. Because the
Mhm.
thing is, if you're like falling too close behind us, um, I can't see you. I don't have a rear view mirror because there's a big,
Mhm.
you know, container that blocks my view. So if I have to stop on the brakes, you might be running into me and you won't even see like a stop sign or anything. So you have to really watch about
Mhm.
that. You need a new day every few days. You need you need a me
Me.
day every few days. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very true.
Mhm.
Heard truck driving union sucked, and that's about it. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Subhuman 84. Actually,
Mhm.
about the truck driver unions, there aren't very many unions that are have truck driving. The reason being
Oh.
is they're very few and far between because it's hard to unionize guys that aren't even in the vicinity of each other, for very long. So
Yeah.
it's near next to impossible. That's why I someone posted on Twitter about how truck drivers were like going on strike about because of the election and all that. And I'm like, well, one, it's very hard for them to all go on strike because we're all so far apart from each other. We wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. And two, I don't know anything about any truck drivers that are going on strike. If anything, it's probably just a couple of individuals. That's it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Subhuman
Wow.
84. Okay, I'll have to look him up. But no, another thing, like I always do. I wanted to do start doing a if I get time. See, that's the thing. Like, when you work 12 hours a day, it's hard to have time to plan any of this stuff out. So um, I always want to do a series like Tales on the Road, and like where I talk to other truck drivers and stuff like that, and just you know say well we've encountered and stuff like that. And some of the stories, man, I'm telling you that if you weren't there, you probably would never believe it. Cla- I'm a Class Z movie critic. I don't have enough training to tackle the real. And okay. Well, I mean, hey, anyone can tackle the really crappy movies. So I say go for it. Go for it, Happy. Yes, the cartoon, Godzilla 98 cartoon was
Oh,
much
that
better
was
than
really cool.
that was
Really
much
good.
better than the movie. What I think
Yeah.
what I think happened was with the series, the animated series, they were really able to you know relive like the old classic kind of Godzilla. I mean, they gave him his fire back. They gave him, they had all these monsters he would fight, and many of them were almost mimics of like the Toho monsters. My favorite was
Mhm.
the Monster Wars, where it was the three-part mini series for that, where it was all the monsters he had fought previously, being unleashed by an alien force. It was literally an homage to Destroy All Monsters. I mean, it was great.
Mhm.
It was great. But yeah, much better, much well done compared to the movie. But then again, in
Mhm.
animated form, you can get away with a lot more things. With computer, CGI and all that. That takes time. That takes a lot of money. Animation, it was like you could get those done pretty quickly and pretty efficiently. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, great, great. So,
Doing good.
what's up?
Nothing really. My dog's whining now. And my computer's
Ah,
just been moving slow, so.
well, I'm on my phone because my computer is old. So,
Mine's getting
I've
there.
tried
Mhm.
I've tried live streaming from my computer, and it glitches every like 5 seconds to where people aren't like hearing what I'm saying, and I just need a new computer. That's my next goal. Once I start making a bit more money,
Mhm.
I'm getting myself a new computer, like
Mm.
a decent one,
Yeah.
Mm, mhm.
Oh.
and a decent camera, and I'm gonna try to set up a studio. Try to. No guarantees
Mm.
on it because, like I said, I'm when you're working like 12 hours a day, every 5 to 6 days a week, you
Mhm.
kind of don't have time to do much as far as goes YouTubing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's why I think I always say when you first start out trying to be a YouTuber and trying to get to that point where you can be monetized, that's your hardest part because you're a lot of these guys when they first started out, they still had a regular job, so they couldn't do it all the time. But they had to, you have to make time, or you have to, figure out, what your best option is. Do I stay with the job I have now, or do I take a chance and go with YouTube?
Mhm.
Um, like I said, for me, this is more YouTube for me is more of a hobby. It's not. I have
Yeah.
absolutely no interest of really making it big here. Only because once you do that, then there's a lot more pressure to make more videos. You know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's and some of these guys, I mean, they put a lot of work into their videos, and you're looking at 10, 12 hours a day, editing and reshooting and stuff like that. It's insane. A lot of people think that when it comes to being a YouTube, it's easy, but it's not. I've had deep conversations with some of them, and it's not. It's actually very stressful
Mm.
because the minute you losing subscribers, you start losing money. And it's
True.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why you have to stay.
Definitely.
That's why you have to stay relevant with everything. You have to be on top of everything. You have to do all the research and all that. And it's just, ugh. Well,
Yeah.
oh no, no, we're not
Oh,
giving. No, we're not going into the ship,
we're not going into that
Happy.
weird
Please,
anime
please,
stuff,
no,
okay? No,
please,
just kidding. But
please. That is the most abusive relationship if ever it happened. I
yeah.
mean, Godzilla always kills Mothra, and then Mothra's babies always side with the mother. So even if they go to court, Godzilla's going to lose. Yeah, yeah, no, no. That is the most abusive relationship in the history of movies. If that happens, yeah,
Uh,
YouTube is. Yeah, it's very hard, and then you have to worry about algorithms and making sure people find your videos. It's no, it's just a pain. That's for people that are younger than me. I'm gonna be honest. That's for people that are younger than me. I was born in the '80s. I grew up in the '80s. I mean, and yeah, it just no, not doing it. Shipping is chill.
I always
Yeah.
preferred Ghidorah X Godzilla. They're the true romantic uh
Oh, jeez.
I was gonna say trio, but what the heck's that? Quartet. They're the true
Yeah,
romantic
quartet.
quartet there.
But yeah, no shipping here. Um, but so tell me, Salvation. I don't know that much about you, so tell me a bit about yourself.
well, where do I begin? It all started when the humans decided to build a protector, to fight against Godzilla. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, basically, was basically the first time I ever watched a Godzilla movie was around when I was 9 or 10 years old, and I saw the first original Godzilla movie that they brought it over in English.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
Yeah.
then I watched that one. Then after that, I began watching a little bit more. I saw Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. That lobster one.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
That's a good.
And then eventually, I watched Godzilla versus Godzilla. I'm like going, all right, that's it. That's my favorite monster right there with
Yeah,
Mega
Kiryu.
Godzilla.
But well, I'll give you a bit of backstory with me. I always embellish the story. So when I was growing up,
Mm,
my dad was a big horror fan, and he would be watching. He would get home late from work, but then he'd always rent a video from Blockbuster or something like that.
mm,
And he'd always bring home horror movies that he probably shouldn't have showed me that young because I was about 3. And yeah, I was always scared, and yeah, it never worked out very well. So finally, one night he brought home Godzilla 1985 with Raymond Burr. And that was the English version of Return of Godzilla from 1984. And I to this day I still remember it, and I remember when the guard steps out of the building, and then there's Godzilla right there, and I was hooked. I mean, I thought it was the coolest dinosaur I ever saw.
mm.
Completely indestructible. Breathes fire. Everything. Like it's like wow. And I was hooked from then on. And then every time going to Blockbuster, I would regularly seek out all the different Godzilla movies. But back then, you had a lot of TV stations that were a bit more loose about how they did rights and stuff like that. So you would have Godzilla movies on all the time on different channels. I don't know, Mongo. Wait, I mean, I don't know if you were old enough to remember this, but do you remember Super Scary Saturdays on TBS?
No, I
Nope.
don't.
Okay, so that was hosted by the guy who would play Grandpa from the Munsters, and
Hmm.
he would always show like different cheesy horror movies and stuff like that, or science fiction movies, and he would always do the Godzilla movies like Rodan. He would do like Godzilla's Revenge, all those ones, and I grew up watching those. It was always called Super Scary Saturday, but they weren't scary movies. They were just like cheesy, movies that TV companies could get for a cheap price. And he would host it and do like little skits with it, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, Blockbuster is gone, but like except for one store, and they would regularly have Godzilla movies, monster movies, B movies at the store on VHS. So I would always go and rent those kind of movies. Then I got found that there was like other movies like Gamera, that sort of thing. Now, King Kong, I always loved. My favorite King Kong was always going to be the original 1933 version. Just mainly because of how just the technical effects for that time were so good. Guys, hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
hear
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, my cat like bumped into my phone, so that's why I was just making sure.
Oh.
Fun fact: Grandpa Munster's actor. He's Grandpa Stu. Oh yeah, that was parody.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's true. That's what actually they're referring to. They're referring to the Super Scary Saturday episodes in Gremlins 2. That's what they were referring to in Gremlins 2. Yeah. Let's see here. Interesting. The most I've heard about Dr. Pepper's. Yes, Dr. Pepper was a sponsor of that. If you
Oh
look on
God,
YouTube,
yeah, I remember seeing that
you will find
commercial.
those commercials. You will find those
Yeah,
commercials.
those are pretty good.
Yeah, corny, but hey, what can you do? I think the best Godzilla commercial that the U.S. ever made was the Godzilla versus Barkley. You guys ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
Godzilla versus Charles
That's
Barkley.
a good one.
Look it up on YouTube. It's one of the better ones ever made. It was actually the suit was made by Industrial Light and Magic, so I mean it was actually pretty good quality. I mean, if you ever get to see it, it's pretty cool.
Oh, I like that one where it was a Snickers. Godzilla. He's
Oh yeah,
like
for the
playing with all the
Oh my
guys.
yeah,
God.
the 2013 promotion for Snickers.
Yeah.
Oh man, I laughed at that one. That was great. He's a lazy man in that one. And I remember the comments for that. It's like, really, that's all we needed to do was give him a Snickers, and that's it. But cousin Chomper. Oh, geez. Well, he actually murdered. If you want to go by the Peter Jackson version, he actually kind of murdered 3 of your cousins. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Or
at
actually,
once.
wasn't it 4?
No, there were 3 of them.
Oh yeah, you're right. The 2 in the
Yeah,
beginning
3.
and
Yeah, 1 in the beginning, then 2 show up, and
Yep.
then crushes one skull with a rock. Then he bashes the other one that's hanging in the branches, and then he does the classic, rip the jaw into the third one. So yeah. When it comes to monster movies, I mean, I could probably literally right there as I'm watching, I could tell you exactly what happens. Yeah, when it comes to monster movies, that's a big one for me. So just as like Star Wars fans, like they could probably recite all the Star Wars movies. I can pretty much recite all the giant monster movies, all the Godzilla movies by heart because I've seen them so many times, and I just think it's one of the things I found was funny, and I was talking to Orange Hat about this. He kind of laughed at me for this one. I missed his stream. I came onto his stream. I mean, I was in the comments on his stream, but then I left the comments, and here I was interested in this fight between on Twitter between Ultraman fans and Godzilla fans. That was interesting. Yeah, I don't know why, but Ultraman fans and Godzilla fans seem to not like each other. I don't know why. They were both created by E.G. Superaya, so I don't know what the big deal was. I'm kind of out of the loop of what happened there, but yeah, it was kind of a funny nerd fight there going on there. But yeah, hey, I mean, my argument is, hey, if you love Ultraman, that's great. I'm all for you and supporting you for that. If you like King Kong, if you like Star Wars, if you like whatever, Batman, DC, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, fine, that's fine and dandy. You don't have to fight over every little thing that happens. That's just my argument. You don't have to fight over every little thing about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and I
and
like
trust me,
Godzilla.
Yeah.
And others will too, so.
Yeah, exactly. There's still suing Kong in court for genocide of my people. We were not even around Skull Island. Netflix make an Ultraman reboot. I saw Marvel made an Ultraman comics last time.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Ultraman. The Ultraman reboot is a bit different on Netflix. He's not like giant in that. He's more like a superhero kind of thing. But it still retains the same premise.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think Marvel did do an Ultraman comic. I know. Fun fact. Over in Japan, Marvel leased out Spider-Man in a Attack on Titan Spider-Man crossover. It was just a one-time comic.
Oh.
But yeah, because of the web slinging was similar to how they do the maneuver. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, they did lease that out, but it never came to the US, and I think the reason why was it was so outlandish of a concept that nobody wanted to kind of release it here. They're like, no, it's just way too out there. But which is kind of funny considering that I've seen some crazy stories in Marvel and DC, so they can get really outlandish if they want. But yeah. I mean, we all know because we're all on Twitter a lot. My God, it doesn't take long for there to be like a complete another like almost fist fight ready to happen on Twitter. So And
Yeah.
look, I understand, and I completely understand. I like when people start like insulting people and their family members and stuff like that. Yeah, that is going too far. That's
Mhm.
not uncalled for and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But then you get some of these guys that are completely extreme, where it's like they're like, well, we'll find out where you live, or we'll find out where you work, and we'll make sure you get fired,
Mhm.
and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's like, geez, I mean,
Oh.
literally, calm down. Like it's not the end of the world. But that's the funny thing, and I know that, and we know this because especially Mongo and I, we're friends with a lot of the members of the Phantom Menace, and it's just for a while there. I
Mhm.
mean, you probably remember this Mongo, like for a while there, especially when right before the Rise of Skywalker came out. I mean, they were getting it left, right, and center. I mean, it was just
Oh yeah.
people were blocking people
Mhm.
left, right, and I mean, they were just doing mass blocks. Like I was getting blocked, and I didn't
Damn.
even know these people. It's
Mhm.
like who blocked me and why? I don't even know who this is. It's like, oh, it was bad. And then you had all the troll accounts come out. It was just like I know for a good solid month I didn't even touch Twitter because it's like it was just no, I'm not even doing it because I don't even know if my account's blocked by anybody anymore. Um, but yeah, it I don't know. I guess it's because look, and I guess I can. A reason why I relate to the Phantom Menace is I know what it feels like to see your hero treated kind of with so much disrespect.
Mhm.
Back in Godzilla '98, the movie.
Oh God,
uh,
don't remind me of
Yeah,
that
well,
one.
no, I'm just saying it's one of those things where it's like I remember that feeling. I
Yeah,
truly
no,
do,
I completely agree on
and that's why
that.
I feel for it for all of them. I truly do, and but the weird thing is I'm older. I'm older now. I'm going to be closer to 40 here soon.
Mhm.
Um, and so I've had all these years to kind of reconcile with it. And they're still making Godzilla movies, and they're still making good Godzilla movies.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things where I often wonder what are these guys going to say in 20 years from now? Will it be the same thing? And I don't think it will, because by that point you're not even going to worry about some of these things.
Yeah.
But I understand it is very fresh. When it's fresh like that, yeah, it's going to be hard to let go, and you don't even have to let go. But it's almost like how's the saying go? You know, um, accept what I can't change, but you know what I can change, I'll make sure I do change. That kind of thing.
Mhm.
But again, like I that's why I do feel for a lot of these guys, because I know what that's like. I know what it feels like. When you see like a childhood hero, and then you get like something like Godzilla '98, and you couldn't even call him the king of the monsters because he was, well, both genders, which is interesting in today's conversation. But
Yeah.
and it's very progressive in today's conversation back in '98. But yeah, it just a show, so sit back and relax. Yeah, Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, oh, those
Oh yeah.
episodes were great. What they did with Godzilla and Gamera, oh, those were my favorite ones because they were just so on the nose funny,
Mm.
and they were great. And she act in that movie as Godzilla, and I wear this costume to hide my shame of being in the. Yeah,
So that's why he was familiar.
yeah. Happy. Then we have you to blame for all this. Okay.
Okay. Now I
How
know
dare
where
you?
to point my anger at.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you? How dare you?
Actually, were you in the Final Wars Godzilla movie, Happy Dinosaur, where you got your ass kicked?
Yeah, yeah, really.
Yeah.
You got tail whipped into Sydney Opera House, and then lit on fire. It
Yeah.
was one of the quickest fights in Godzilla history, actually,
Yeah, it was.
and they did that on purpose, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty funny how Toho was so upset about it that they literally bought the character back just to destroy it. Like literally, they literally bought the rights to the design.
It shows
just
you how
to
pissed they were on that too.
it shows you how spiteful they were. That they actually spent money to actually take the design and just like pummel it. Well, that's like you do know like Akira, I can't remember his name. The guy who created Dragon Ball and Dragon
Akira
Ball Z.
Toriyama.
Oh,
Yeah.
Toriyama. Yeah.
When he saw Dragon Ball Evolution, that's what motivated him to do more Dragon Ball, because he was so mad and upset over what they did with the characters that he literally
I
was like,
can't blame him
I'm
on
going
that
to
at
actually,
all.
yeah, yeah. He was so angry about it that he actually, that's why he like did the Battle of the Gods and Dragon Ball Super and all those ones, because he was just so mad. Even though he said he retired from doing them, but he was so mad about that. He like made sure he made more, which is essentially what Toho did. They were so upset that they started making the Millennium series, and it didn't last long. But they were, it was more out of spite than anything else.
Yeah.
But the one nice thing is with the legendary Godzilla, I mean they did a very good job treating it respectfully, and
Yeah, they did.
Godzilla King of the Monsters really disappointed at the box office, but honestly, it was more of
a better movie than the 1998.
well, not just that, but Godzilla King of the Monsters, I always argue it was a movie made by fans for fans, and that's why it didn't do well, because it literally followed the Toho plot, literally, like from the ground up. It was kind of outlandish. It had some pseudo environmental, mumbo jumbo, but wasn't even really hit upon. And then all the monsters fight each other. I mean, that's literally a Toho movie. That's as Godzilla as it can get. And I think a lot of general audience really didn't understand it too much, and so it's like, just watch the monster fight. That's literally what this movie is. And the only thing I am kind of worried about, I guess, with Godzilla versus Kong is I'm a bit worried because the director, he's the one who directed Death Note, the Netflix one.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's him.
No.
Yes, that's him. And I know a lot of people worry because he had that epic meltdown on social media about it, and then like pretty much told everyone to screw off, and then closed his account. Yeah, that's him.
That's
Now
not a
that
great
being
thing to see in a
said,
director.
yeah. But that being said, though, the one good thing with the legendary Godzilla movies is Toho has a big oversight on what they can and can't do with the Godzilla characters. So that's one good thing, is they're very protective of the property, especially after Godzilla 98. So one good thing is they're going to make sure at least the Godzilla parts are good. Now, as far as the human parts, it's a pot shot.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't really care. That's like let's see here. Hold on, Happy. Yes, I met Godzilla. He's a nice guy, and I thought the jokes would end with me getting my ass kicked by him, but that they just kept on coming. That's what it is. Mads with love or anger, in my opinion. Normie audience to Godzilla, show me monsters fighting. Your story, give me the monsters. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's pretty much it. But you had a lot of normal audiences be like, well, where's the plot? Where's the characters? The human characters? It's like, how do you break it to them? It's like, you don't really go to see these when your brain kind of turns off when you go to see the Godzilla movie. It's like, you go see the monsters. There you go.
What I find funny is, go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say what I find funny is the first movie had too much plot, not enough monster fights, and then the second one came out and there was too many monster fights, not enough plots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. At that point, most Godzilla fans just threw the hands up in the air and were like, okay, they took the criticism from the first one. they remedied it, and now they're saying there's too much of the other thing. It's like at that point, it's like you might as well not even watch any of the reviews, because some of the reviews for Godzilla King of the Monsters were downright horrible. Like the worst kind of reviews for me were not necessarily the criticism of the movie. The worst kind of reviews that I read were the ones where they started out saying, I'm a Godzilla fan, but I didn't like this movie. And then as they went and reviewed the movie, I could tell they had no idea, they never watched the Godzilla movie, because they didn't bring up, oh, they used the original Godzilla music. Oh, they used, a lot of the original cues and a lot of the original sound effects from the Godzilla movies. Like they never brought any of these things up, and it's like they just kept going on and on about the plot. And I'm like, guys, you're not even talking about the monsters here. Like you even like Rodan's design was awesome. All the monsters looked like just a modernization of the Toho designs, essentially. And so they kept true to the designs, which was, in my opinion, the best thing they could have done.
It was the best thing to see on the big screen on Godzilla and, King Ghidorah, Mothra.
Rodan. Yeah. Like the Rodan sequence with the jet fighters, that was just phenomenal.
That was cool.
That was phenomenal, because
it's part of the movie right there. Just so great.
It was phenomenal because, as a kid, when you watch these older movies, you always wanted to see, like, what would modern effects do with that same scene? And that's literally what they did with the Rodan scene. Is they took the scenes from like the 1955's 56's Rodan, where he's fighting the jet fighters, but now they modernized it. They put in all the effects, and they're just beautiful. It just it was fast paced, intense. I mean, exactly how you think it would be, and it's just amazing how they did that. And it's probably one of the best sequences in the movie. Like I was like, after I watched that movie, I was like, we need a solo Rodan movie, and we need a solo Mothra movie. It's like, just make them, make their own movies. Like go the Toho route. Do each one have their own movies, then bring them back together. Which is it's kind of funny because people talk about the Avengers, how they set up every hero with their own movie, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, Toho did that years and years ago. Each monster had their own movie, and then you got Destroy All Monsters, which had all of them, fighting Ghidorah. So it's like, it's kind of like the idea of, bringing together, Earth's mightiest heroes. Well, this is Earth's mightiest monsters together. And so like, it's always a brilliant concept to do that, to do crossovers. Universal actually did it first with, Wolfman meets Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. That was one of the first crossovers. And it was phenomenal. If you ever get to watch those movies, I mean, the classic Universal movies, by all means watch them. A lot of people don't watch those old movies anymore. It's like, dude, that's where almost all of the Hollywood movies get their ideas from. Those classic monster movies. Geek news media is just trying. I rants about them not working. Vice. I was thinking Rodan
as big as a battleship.
Oh yeah, and the giant claw, yeah. Every line in that, it's like it's as big as a battleship. Yeah, even though it's flying. Now if it was Ocean Dweller, yeah, sure, but okay.
Flying battleship.
Which
such a
that's
great
Atragon.
I love that so much.
That would be Atragon / Tengo. Because Atragon's a flying battleship. So technically,
I would love to see that in the MonsterVerse. I mean,
I
was already pretty stoked with the Argo. I love that.
Yeah, the Argo. See, for me, the Argo was a natural progression from the Super X series. The Super X, you had these mech, these advanced machines, and I thought them adding the Argo was just awesome, because I'm like, yes, they like showed that it's like, oh, you have this really crazy science fiction, type, militarization of these vehicles, and like they're there to fight the monsters, and they actually do damage to the monsters because they're advanced. Anime joke. Which
Oh,
sorry,
it's up
okay.
there.
No,
Yeah.
normal is just an anime. Why there's well, there was an octopus scene in King Kong, so
Yeah,
Kong
you got
Skull
the
Island.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There wasn't there?
So yeah, no, I no, they added that. Well, that was actually a tribute to King Kong versus Godzilla, where Kong fights
Yeah,
the
that's what I was gonna
giant
say.
octopus.
Godzilla versus King
So,
Kong.
so yeah, no, actually, the MonsterVerse had the octopus, so you can't say that.
Yeah.
So they crossed their T's and dot their I's on all of that stuff. Yeah, because in that scene where Kong's fighting um I think it's called the Meyer squid in the Skull Island universe, and all the comments are like, yeah, Kong goes up against the Japanese porn star. Yeah, and it's like, it's if any, you know what? These streams are not made for children, so I'm just going to go out and say it. You know why they have tentacles in anime?
Yes.
Okay, so Mongo. Do you know?
I guess it's just kind of a phallic type of thing. I guess I don't know why.
Because here's what the real reason is: the Japanese censors will not let them draw a penis, so they had to get in Venom. I'm not joking. That's the reason.
He's not.
That's the reason. So
It was a
was a way
workaround,
around
if
it.
anything.
Yeah, that is the reason that you have that. That is pretty much the only reason why you have that. And yeah, it was a workaround. But actually to say like anime is all about that kind of stuff is kind of unfair. Have you guys ever watched like Grave of the Fireflies or any of those animes? Or
I watched
I
other
haven't seen that
animes.
one specifically. I've watched a few Ghibli movies, like
yeah, well, that
Princess
is a good.
Mononoke, but that's about the length of my experience with that type.
Yeah, like Grave of the Fireflies. That one's just depressing all around.
Yeah, I heard it's really bleak.
Yeah, that one's just and it's a Ghibli movie, and it's anime like it would be like this fun, kid adventure kind of thing, but it is just heartbreaking. The whole movie, the whole way through the movie, there's like no let up on that one. It's like I'm surprised. I'm surprised like more people haven't like committed suicide after watching that movie because it's that depressing.
Or
And
it just
like
makes you lose your sanity.
Yeah, that calamari is here. Oh, jeez. Happy. I don't know what this. I learned the reason for tentacles from Project.
Well, that's one good source.
Yeah.
I will agree with Happy Dinosaur on that.
I've seen some animes. Okay. Yeah. But no, yeah, a lot of animes are actually very, very well done. And they're not all about like the fetish part.
Yeah.
A lot of them are very good storytelling and very well done, by the way. One of the more I don't know if you guys have seen Evangelion.
Have you guys?
Oh yeah, I have.
That one, you know what? That one is probably one of the more controversial animes because it's not just about the robots fighting the angels. It's like a very deep story to where it's like
it's almost like a Matrix mindfuck kind of thing.
Even more so.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
you
about
start
creation.
out with the angels, and you start out and they're really straightforward. You have one, okay, he's a punchy dude, and then they just keep getting more abstract, and it's like, wow, and then of course there's the whole psychological stuff too.
Oh yeah, psychological, religion. I mean, he threw everything into that, and like, well, he still said what's even funnier is he said it's still not a complete story yet.
Yeah.
The creator even said, he goes, no, I still have yet to do the ending, and everyone's like, well, geez, what can you do after this? I mean, if you ever seen
Right.
End of Evangelion, it's just like, how do you, what, what more
It's
do you need to
basically,
do?
I'll just say this much, it's repopulation. How about that?
Mm.
Pretty
Well,
much, but
like
still, it's like,
I remember watching that on Netflix for the first time, and then when it finally
mhm,
got to some of the final episodes of the last, or of that first season, I was
yeah,
like, "What the heck? This is freaking what the heck?" I was just pissed off, and then I watched End of Evangelion. I was like, "Okay, that's kind of better, kind
yeah.
of," but I'm
Yeah,
like,
it just goes, it's one of those ones that throws you through the loop. Now you gotta understand why, like when Shin Godzilla, the ending of Shin Godzilla, like, mind you, it's written by,
mm,
By the
you
same
know,
guy who did
by the
Neon
same guy.
Genesis.
So like the ending is so abstract, and it's like
Mm.
it makes you think, and it's like, oh my, well, that's like classic, Evangelion right there. That
Oh yeah.
literally,
mm, mm,
actually, honestly, the way the plot and the way the movie flows in Shin Godzilla is almost a textbook anime, like a textbook manga. If you
Mm.
read the manga, like, and that's how they structured the story, as if you were doing a manga, because you have it's introducing all these characters, and the argument is, see, a lot of Western audiences found this annoying, but I kind of understand what they were going with. They didn't have a main character per se. They were showing the country as a whole working together, and
Mm.
with all these different people. Now, most Western movies, they have a main character, a story, and then you have these side characters. Well, everyone in this was like, everyone pretty much had equal time as far as what they were doing and stuff like that. Again, it was to show more about how the country itself had to pull together,
Mm.
regardless of politics and all that. If you guys ever get a chance, you should check out Gaijin Goomba. Um,
mm,
he
Mm.
he's great. He's a good YouTuber. He actually lived in Japan, and he for a couple of years. Now, when he did a review of Shin Godzilla, he said all that bureaucracy stuff, like where they have meeting after meeting, that is
Mm.
absolutely true. He said they literally have a meeting for everything in Japan. Like bureaucracy is literally like the thing in Japan. Like they have meetings for even the stupidest things because he had to go to them.
Oh
And
no.
he argued that people in Western audiences would laugh at that, and he said he felt he got PSD again from watching it, because
mm,
he goes, no, you don't understand. That's what they do. They have a meeting after a meeting about every little thing. He goes, that's why
mm,
nothing. That's why he goes, I'm surprised that anything ever gets done in Japan, because they have a meeting for every little thing.
mm.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you ever get a chance, check him out. Let's see here, Happy. My favorite anime film is probably between My Neighbor Totoro and Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. Oh yeah. Um, Mine would probably have to be geez, uh, that's a hard one. Mine would probably have to be, as far as favorite anime movie. Um, Probably Princess Mononoke, or
Ooh.
or um, I saw this anime. My wife showed it to me, and it was phenomenal anime, but I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of it is. What essentially happened is, it starts out like these souls are, they're just wisps. Okay, they're souls, and this angel comes up to the one soul, and he's like, "Hey, you've been chosen. You get to start your life again." And it's he committed this soul committed suicide, so he's like, I don't care, and
Mm,
then he goes, well, you're going into a new body anyway. And so for the whole movie, he gets put stuck in this body of this boy, and like he learns about the family and learns about it. At first he doesn't care, at first, but it's a very good story, and it like shows how he learns how to live again, essentially. It's an amazing story. I just can't remember the darn name of it. My wife would know. She's a big anime fan.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
There's like on anime film I saw called Penguin Highway, so abstract they kept saying "ha" despite having good subtitles and a simple plot. Then yeah, pretty much challenging to follow. Yeah, a lot of animes are very challenging to follow, even with the English dub. Even with the English dub, it's very hard to follow. And I'm sure, like when they're dubbing it, they're probably even like, "What am I reading off here?" I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of bureaucracy, one of my favorite cop movies, Hot Fuzz, actually praised for the one thing that means showing cops doing paperwork. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, just mundane paperwork is paperwork. It literally is as mundane as crazy as it is. It's the only thing that keeps some places moving is paperwork. That's it. That's a very true statement. Okay. Well, let's see here. I'm getting to the hour and 10 mark. I'm gonna have to cut the stream here. Thank you, Mongo, and thank you, Salvation. Really appreciate you coming on to the stream. Yeah, I was fine with just doing the comments. But yeah, it feels more organic when you actually have someone to talk to and relate to.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that a lot, and appreciate you guys coming on to the stream here, so we can just like I was gonna I know a lot of people were like when I said current events, they were thinking I was talking about politics. I'm like, no, I'm just talking about current events as in what's going on in my life. That's it. I don't, I probably should have worded that better. I probably should have just said, life update. That's it. But I guess I wasn't thinking. I was just saying current events as far as that goes. Yes, have a very happy day, happy dinosaur. I'll see you on Twitter. You're always great. You always tag so many people when you send out your tweets or when you retweet stuff. I mean, it's great. We all really appreciate it. So we really do. And I'm sure a lot of other YouTubers do too, because you get so many comments whenever you tweet out how everyone's doing, because they know you like to help out. So that is much appreciated. But anyway, guys, thank you again for being on the stream, and for the viewers that will be seeing this later, I hope all of you all have a great day, and I hope everybody stays safe in this crazy world. And I always say, just be you. Just be you. But anyway, guys, thank you again, and take care.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye.